Hi, this is Milton Eisenberg, attorney with Dan Chapman and Associates. And today I wanted to give you an update on the 3M Combat Arms earplugs in the cases that we're helping our veterans with who have suffered hearing loss or tinnitus, which is ringing in the ears. We're in April of 2019, and the biggest news in the update is that the Joint Panel on Multi-Litigation, which is a panel of federal judges that operates out of Washington, D.C., and oversees federal litigation for products liability, has appointed a federal judge now to oversee all of the 3M Combat Arms earplug cases if any of the suits are filed in the federal court system. So let me explain to you what that means. When you file a products defect case, you have a choice of filing it in state court or federal court. If they're filed in state court, they're usually filed in the state where the company is located or a state where they have an office. In this case, if it was 3M, there's some people that are filing cases in the state of Minnesota, and there will be a Minnesota state court judge that oversees those cases against 3M for defects in the combat arms earplugs. Other people, and we're included in this group, other people at this time are filing their cases against 3M in the federal court system, where a federal judge who has been appointed for life, instead of one maybe in a state court that has to be reelected every so many years, a federal judge oversees this litigation. And the Joint Panel on Multi-District Litigation will have meetings throughout the year where people have asked them to consider whether or not there should be multi-district litigation set up for certain products defect case. And in the case of the 3M earplugs, in March, there was a meeting and there were lawyers present that presented arguments for the MDL to be set up, and there were different places around the country where people wanted this set up. And the panel considered all of that and then ended up deciding, yes, number one, we're going to set up an MDL for the combat arms earplug cases. And number two, we're going to put it with this particular judge. And the judge they picked was a judge down in the Northern District of Florida operating out of their Pensacola courthouse. And her name is Judge Casey Rogers. We were very happy with that. Judge Rogers, we believe, will be a very good judge for this litigation. She is a judge that has shown in the past to be very fair. And she also is an actual Army veteran. She was in the Army for several years, and we feel like that will allow her to determine the issues in this case which affect other Army veterans. But she's in Pensacola. She's handled an MDL before and brought it to resolution, which is another point that we think is very good about Judge Rogers, is that she has a track record. She had the cases that were put in an MDL for Abilify. Abilify is an antipsychotic drug. And one of the things they found out was that certain people who were taking Abilify started having all sorts of compulsive behaviors, and that was not something warned about. And so lawyers brought an MDL suing the manufacturer of Abilify. Judge Casey Rogers was appointed over that, and in speaking with some of the lawyers that were involved in that, have found that she made very fair rulings. She moved the cases along. She didn't allow the companies to drag their feet on it, and they were able to reach a resolution, which is, in the end, what we want to do in these cases. So if you have been injured by the combat arms earplugs, I've got a pair of them right here. As you'll know and you'll recognize from your time in the military, there's a green side and then there's a yellow side to these. These are dual-ended earplugs the only ones that the military bought that were dual-ended. That means that you can either stick the green end in your ear, or you can flip it around and stick the yellow end in your ear. These earplugs were supposed to provide hearing protection for the military veteran to prevent hearing loss and tinnitus. However, because of the defects in the earplugs, they didn't provide the hearing loss that they were supposed to, and a lot of the military veterans now have suffered hearing loss and tinnitus. We believe, and we believe the evidence will prove, that they were because of the defects in this and the misstatements made by Aero Technologies, who originally tested and designed and sold these to the military, and then 3M bought Aero Technologies out in 2008 and continued selling these to the military. And we believe that we'll be able to show that the million or so veterans that have hearing loss and tinnitus have them because of the defects in these earplugs. We'll continue to have updates as we progress through this litigation, and urge that you continue to follow us on our website and follow what's going on with this litigation. But if you've suffered damages and you've suffered hearing loss and tinnitus from using these, we urge that you go ahead and call us. Time is of the essence. That means in legal terms that you need to act quickly, because this litigation should move much quicker than a normal litigation, because there's been litigation going on between 3M and another company about these earplugs and about these defects. So we've got a head start based on what we already know and based on what we think we're going to get once some of this information gets unsealed. Some of it right now is sealed by the federal court in a whistleblower case, and we are going to ask Judge Casey Rogers to unseal some of that and let us get our hands on depositions and other discovery documents and records that were unearthed during that, and that'll give us a running start into showing what we need to prove, and that these are defective and that these did lead to hearing loss. So keep up with us, number one. Number two, give us a call. If you need legal representation, we give you a free consultation. We'd love to review your case. We'd love to be able to tell you that we can help you get money for the harms you suffered, in addition to what you're already getting in VA benefits for the disability rating caused by the hearing loss or the tinnitus. So call us at Dan Chapman. The number's on the screen. Our website is on the screen. If you haven't been to our website, we have a lot of good information there to tell you more about these cases and the evidence that we already have. Thank you.